Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a massive book haul, and I'm saying like probably 25 books. I lost count. Yeah. This is actually only probably half of what I'm going to read in 2021 because I always get more books whenever I feel like it. And usually I get books for Christmas for the next year, and then I get birthday presents because my birthday is in January, and that basically lasts until like the end of the summer, and then that's when I buy new books. So this is only some of it, and some of these books honestly I've had, they're not new, but I keep pushing them back, especially the nonfiction books, because it's a lot. I try to read at least one nonfiction and one fiction book at the same time, but last year that kind of stopped for the last 6 months of 2020 because I just wanted to read fiction books because they make me happy. But we're gonna jump back into reading nonfiction and fiction at the same time. Also, if you hear weird noises, it's because it's pouring rain outside, and it's the wind as well. It's raining sideways, so that's what's happening. Pardon the rain and the wind. Okay, so I'm starting with the nonfiction books because there's not as many. Up first, I want to read these two books because it's important, because we kind of almost had like an apocalypse. No. Yes? Yeah, kind of. Even if there is no apocalypse happening, we should all read at least the basics, right? Because you could be hiking, or you could just be like stranded because your car decides not to work and you're like, oh, what is going on? I don't know what to do. I would definitely suggest reading these. I think it's pretty simple. It's not going to take a long time. Plus there's pictures in it, so it's not going to take more than like a week for these two. This book is very dense. I bought it and started it last year, but I was distracted by COVID and the stress, so then I stopped reading this and I went to read fiction only. But this is a very important book if you're into the history of the American Revolutionary War. Gordon Wood is the leading expert of this time period. What I also want to read is Free Culture. This was put on the back burner as well last year, but I am very fascinated in this argument that it's too censored with copyright. His thesis is on the cover right here, Lawrence Lessing, is how big media uses technology and the law to lock down culture and control creativity. That's fascinating to me. So if it's just big media, and that he's just arguing about big media, I could get behind that argument. So I'm very interested in reading this book. It's kind of long though, and I think the text is a little small. Okay, well, we have a whole year to get to it. It's fine. Next up, last book that's nonfiction, we're going to do Extreme Ownership. I read Jocko's other book. Where is it? It's somewhere over there. A few years ago, and I enjoyed it. That was about going to the gym and staying motivated and all that stuff. This one I'm interested in because of the ownership aspect and being a leader. I think that there are problems in society, and not just in the 21st century, but just overall, where we pick wrong leaders and we don't know how to work with them, and then the leaders don't know what they're doing, so I don't think they would be considered leaders in a moral aspect. Sure, you can be nominated for something and then you're a leader of, say, a huge company. That does not mean that you're in fact a true leader. And this book talks about that and taking extreme extreme. Ownership of yourself and the people around you. Next up are the two books. One book, this book, I've already read. Sorry, I had to read something. I was going to I was trying and failed to hold off 4 days of not reading because it was, you know, it was almost 2021, but that did not work out, and I read this book and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I know this is a book haul and not a review, but the confusing thing with the reviews for Majesty is that it's not the same as the first book. Do you want like the same freaking, like the exact story of the first book? Like, I'm confused. Like, there were a lot of cliffhangers in the first book that need to be tied up, and this isn't the last book. There's other books coming. So like the people that were upset with Daphne basically winning, no, but you can see the shadowing that she's not going to win in the end with Jefferson and being a princess. So I don't know. This is why I don't trust Goodreads. The other book I'm currently reading right now is Trapped, and I absolutely love this series by Kevin Hearn. It makes me happy. I have a fun time reading every single book, and there's 9 books in the series, and this is the 5th one, and I'm just really excited to read the whole series this year and to get into this book. I'm on page 7 of this book. I started it last night after I finished Majesty last night, and I just wanted, it came in the mail 2 days ago, a day ago, whatever it was. I was just really excited, but I had to finish Majesty. I only had like 25 or so pages in Majesty anyway, and I finished it. That was Majesty is my first book of 2021. This is going to be my second book, and I would say that that's a good way to start the reading year of 2021. Okay, next up, I did get this for my fiance, but I'm going to read it because it's funny and I really love Archer. So, I mean, I think this is gonna be amusing. I mean, if you like Archer, of course it's gonna be like fun. It's a satirical book. I mean, Archer is a satirical cartoon about spies, so. I always like when people think it's serious and then they want to go like all holier than thou on me, and I'm like, yeah, and you read Jonathan Swift and you think eating babies is funny, so you should just calm down. Next up, this is so old that like this is very good condition considered on Amazon. I got it for $5 and some cents. They didn't have like a new copy. So I guess this version is not in stock or even being made anymore. I love Morgan Llewellyn. She's my favorite author, and I want to get back into reading her. So this is a series about Ireland in the 20th century. 1921, 20th century. Yeah. Next up is, of course, I would like it because it's about foxes. And thank you to my friend Erica for buying it for me during the holidays. This is a Scottish retelling. It has foxes and fairies involved. Obviously, this is my kind of book. Actually books, because this is a set that a friend gave to me. Shout out to Steven for the holidays. This is the King Chronicles. This is a bonus chapter sample. I'm not sure what that is, but we're gonna open it and find out shortly. I really enjoy the Percy Jackson series, and I wanted to get the King Chronicles because Egypt. Hi, yes. talking about ancient Egypt, I don't know where that book is. Where is it? By Toby Wilkinson. It's the Complete History of Ancient Egypt. Where did I put it? I need to read it. I have too many books. Don't know where I put that book, but it's like this big. That is also on my TBR list for this year. It's nonfiction, of course. I hope I can find it. It's somewhere out there. Oops, I totally forgot about it. But it's fine. Now, this is a book that my fiance suggested that I should read. I don't usually like classics because they're written horribly. But if he suggested it to me, I will read it and we'll see how it goes. Okay. 2 books in a series that I've been waiting to buy by Kate Quinn. She is more well known now for, what is it, the Alice Network? Yeah, she like became very well known in the historical fiction genre because of the Alice Network. But she has 4 books. 4 books! I blanked out. 4 books in this series about ancient Rome, and it also involves the Gauls on the mainland. Very interested to read these. I enjoyed the first 2 books, but I guess they weren't printing those other 2 books because I was not about to pay, let's say, like $21 for this book. But then I guess they reprinted them because then they went back down to like $11.99. You just have to wait sometimes. I'm also interested in reading the Winterwood because this reminds me of that other series that I read last year. Wildwood? No. I'm so great at memorizing titles. Where is it? Okay, I don't know. What's it called? I thought I put it in the, like, around here. Can you see? I just have too many books. And they're not organized. They're organized as in what fits. Yeah. Okay, I give up. You don't care. The Wildwood, right? Where it's like different dimensions and there's like really sad, violent, aggressive retellings of stories. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of this, maybe because it's Winterwood, and then like the cover kind of looks like the same. And this is about myths and folklore, of course in a different setting. I'm just saying, but it looked interesting, and I want to get I'm gonna give it a try. I'm just poked by hardcover edges. I'm fine. This one is not as exciting because I had to throw away the cover because it was disgusting. But this is fine, you know. I don't see, there's no problems in here. It was just the cover that was a nasty, crinkled library cover. But it's the boy in the red dress. And I saw a few booktubers reading this and they all gave it 5 stars. So I'm interested in seeing if I will like it as well. The Winter King was also suggested by my fiance because this is about King Arthur, but it's not kind of, I don't know, romanticized, I guess. There's magic, but it makes sense. I tried to read this 2 years ago because he loves Bernard, but I couldn't get into it. I guess I got 20-ish pages in, and I was like, I don't know. I have other books that I would enjoy. So it's a trilogy, but he thinks I would enjoy it because it's about King Arthur and the Celts and, you know, the Romans. Yeah. And this is The Sky Weaver. Third book in like a trilogy, though you can read the other two books as standalone, which I think was really interesting to set up. I'm wanting to read this because I'm interested. I mean, it's like you can read them as standalones, but this is like a wrap up of that world, and I really enjoyed the other two books. This book has been anticipated for me because it took, I don't know, like 5 years for her to put it out. I mean, you could read it as standalone, but this is also the Champion series where like they're reborn. So what you would know if you know about it, the most popular was Black Sails. Where is it? Yeah, Stealing Fire, Black Sails. It's at the top. Oh, Hand of Isis. Oh, you can't see that. No, it's blocked out by Mercedes Lackey. Okay, yeah. Ring a bell. This is, I think it's the last book because it took her so freaking long to write this and publish it, and I was like, what's going on? Are we doing a George R.R. Martin on your book series? But no, it finally came out. Do I remember what happened in the other book? Because they're books of the same person, which is Elsa. I even forget her freaking name. It's been so long. Am I going to read the other book? No. So it's gonna be a journey. And the last 3 books are self-published. So we're gonna start off with fave, the Darkling Queen. This is in the series of The Shadow Watch. Very popular indie, not self-published indie, whatever book. Fantastic cover. I always love finding fantastic, well-written, great plot, great characters of self-publishing, because I can be like, well, this book is better than like 50 other traditionally published books, and you missed your chance, publishing houses, didn't you? I mean, they missed this chance for this series. Next up is my friend Daniel's self-published book. This is his first book. I haven't read any of his other stuff. I don't think because he's released any of the other stuff. So that would make sense. I'm trying to think outright. And I always love me a good fantasy novella. Hey. Lastly, the Sons of Mercy. He's also my friend. Self-published ones are my friends because we're in that world together. Not, you know, I want people to like know that just because people, like, I've seen people get upset when you don't mention it's a friend's book. Whatever. Is a father and a daughter going on a journey. New twist, because usually it's not a father and daughter, or even a mother and daughter, or, you know, any of that. So I like that new twist on a adventure, well, like an action adventure fantasy book. Throughout the trope of a female lead and a love interest with a group of friends, you know, right? It's a family affair in this novel. Thank you so much for watching my massive book haul for the start of 2021. I hope you have a great reading day. Thank you, and have a very fantastic, happy-go-lucky, intense reading challenge of 2021. Thank you. Bye.